rejections in a few minutes, and I have my sidekick, my from time to time co-host, Aletha Donaldson. So, with that being said, let me play my interlude, and I will be back after that. Hold on, where we at? Where we at? I got that. Here we go. Commercial, commercial, commercial. You doing okay while I find this? That's right. We're on live. We're gonna get this thing done one way or another. What's up to y'all? What's up? Are you looking for a YouTube channel where you can learn a great deal about what it's like to be visually impaired? Well, look no further, because Third Eye Visions is for you. Go to the YouTube channel, put in the search bar 3RD EYE Visions/Anthony. That's Third Eye Visions/Anthony, and you will find all the videos that will be very educational and worth watching. Welcome to Third Eye Visions. Welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kinds. Today I am speaking with my PNC, better known as Aletha Donaldson, and I need y'all to go subscribe. Y'all been a good response person, a person who has been responding and handling your business and responding to what I've been asking and subscribing, and I appreciate that. Aletha, what's happening with you?
What's going on? Nothing. Just chilling. Okay, I appreciate you for having me.
Okay, well, that's what's up. We're gonna be talking about rejections. How have you handled your rejections? Because we all have been rejected, and I know that for a fact. I've been rejected. You've been rejected. He's been rejected. She's been rejected, and everybody has been rejected. And you can't come on here talking about I ain't been rejected, everything. No, none of that. So with that being said, before I do that, I want to say, look, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like, share, and follow and subscribe, as I mentioned, and comment. Ain't that right, Aletha?
That's right. That's right.
Tell me how things been going for you before we delve into this topic of rejection.
Things have been going great. Like you said, I have 30 subscribers. I'm so excited about that. I love the fact that, a lot of people may be like, she only got 30 subscribers. Well, we all started at zero. Everybody has started at zero. So I'm just happy for the 30 subscribers, looking for to get to 50, you know what I'm saying, 100 and further on. I'm doing great, and God is really blessing me, and I'm in a great mood. Today has been a blessing all in itself. So thank you for asking.
Okay. You ever been rejected before? You ever been rejected before?
I didn't hear you.
You ever been rejected before?
Huh?
Have you ever been rejected?
Absolutely. Like you said, everybody has been rejected. Everybody. Like I'm like you. I don't think nobody can sit up and say they've never been rejected, but it just depends on how you handle rejection. So, how if you deal with it negatively or positively, and that's just really how you can get through it. Either you can be negative or positive about it.
Well, how have you been about it? Tell us how have you been about it.
I've been positive about it. Like it don't mess with my self-confidence. It used to when I was younger, being younger. I used to get picked on and bullied and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it built my character. It showed me who I really was, because to me, my looks is not who I am. You know what I'm saying? My personality, my drive, my ambition, those type of things are my character built up. And that's who I am. So being rejected, I'm not saying, I can't say it don't bother me at all. Yeah. But when I look at it in hindsight, well then that may have not been for me. That person may not have should have been in my life. So I deal with it in a positive mindset.
I love the way you just put that together. Now, um, this is not only just for blind people, of course, visually impaired people, whatever. This is rejection as a whole, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
we're gonna talk about the rejections and the fact that both of us have had rejections and what have you. And obviously it has not done anything to our psyche, ego, whatever you want to call it. So with that being said, let's start with talking about let's talk about over the years in terms of the rejections that you have come across that have made you strong. How did you deal with them? And let the people know, because they got some blind people, they got people who are in wheelchairs, they got people who have other kind of impairments that may have had some rejections and what have you. And maybe you can give them some insight as to how to deal with it.
Okay, so yeah, I can go back. I can go way, way back. So, my eye disease is not the only disability that I have. So I have a couple. When I was growing up, when I was a little girl, I had to wear braces on my legs because I was one of those kids that was so bow-legged that I couldn't walk. So my mom had to put me in braces, like leg braces, in order for me to be able to walk correctly or even walk on my legs, because I was so bow-legged that they put braces on me. So I got picked on in school, young, young, young. I mean, I can remember like first grade, second grade, as a little girl, I got picked on all the time because I still had those braces on. Or even like different because how my face is structured. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a very long oval face, or however you call it. And I used to get picked on about that. Like my looks is different. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, being younger, I used to always cry about it. And it worried me for a while. But then, I mean, literally, I think about 15, 16, I started to look in the mirror and really see me for myself. And it wasn't just the physical person. I can make people laugh. I can make people smile. I could always be there for a person. I was always the shoulder. I was always the rock of the group. It wasn't about my physicality. People looked at me, but they didn't look at my face and say, "Oh, she's too ugly to be my friend," because this, that, to the third. They were always saying, "Aletha is a very good friend," and so I learned to pull my strengths forward and learn who I really was in the fact of people picking at me and saying this about me and blah blah blah. I learned to pull my strengths forward, and that's how I started to survive the rejection of being younger, dudes not want to talk to me because they say I look a certain type of way, or I wasn't as popular as the other girls because my mother Kimberly was not having me go out, and I wasn't clubbing and I wasn't streeting, what I'm saying, at a young age, but my homegirls was, you know what I'm saying? So I had to deal with it. Being rejected, I think it helps build character, even in this age, even right now in my 40s. I still deal with rejection, and I deal with it in a very positive light. So I just think that people, if I was to say something to somebody that was telling me that they were dealing with rejection and it really hurt their feelings, I would tell them to do an analysis of themselves. What is your strengths? What are the things that you do that's effective to people? And start to pull those things out. And when you do that, you start looking at yourself in a whole nother light. So that's what
Wow.
I would say.
Wow, but for those who are just joining us, and I'm gonna comment on what you just said. I am speaking to Alita Donaldson, who has given us a full of information that we definitely can use and what have you, for real, for real. So I want to thank you, um, for that. So do you think that in these days the advice that you had just given is basically superficial in terms of, people don't want to really believe that, that's just too far fetched because of so many things are based on the physical attributes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the world is superficial, period. But it shows you where your mindset is. Yeah, some people gonna be like, child, she lying. She don't that ain't how she really feel. That ain't how she really work. She don't function like that. I'm quite sure, even when you go in to look for a job, if you don't look a certain way, you could get turned down for that job. If you don't speak a certain way, if your diction is not clear, if you're not able to handle yourself, you could get rejected. And those are all type of different situations of rejection, right? But I think, literally, I'm serious, I really believe that if you look at it in the world sense, you will never, ever, ever get a real perspective on yourself, because you're only thinking about what the world thinks or what other people believe about you. So you'll never be able to get out of thinking about the rejection that you just received or you deal with on a daily basis, because we really deal with it a lot.
Wow.
So, like a salesperson, like think about a salesperson, Anthony, a person that goes door to door to door to door or on a call and
Hmm.
they're doing sales, they hear rejection hundreds of times a day.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? You have to be strong minded.
That's true. Well, before we move further, I want to say my girl Pamela Coon, Naturally Beauty, Naturally You, she's joined us, as well as Angela Rito, and I'm gonna point out some other people. She said that she's been picked on too when she and I think that everybody has been picked on in their life, growing up and whatnot. Um, and if you haven't, then you must be a perfect person. And there's nobody in this world that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. Everything, if everything's going on good. Even I have been picked on. Not just playing. And I'm gonna talk about my rejections because I really haven't had that many, but I would definitely want to talk about those as well. We're gonna talk about Aletha Donaldson um, rejections as well. But definitely, if
We
you had.
want to hear about yours too. You know, we both interviewers, so I really want to hear about yours too. Like, what have you dealt with
Well,
from this
you
perspective?
said, nah. I've dealt with rejections in two manners, and that, I don't consider them that major. But when it comes to relationship, I don't think that I ever, if I as I retro, I haven't ever been rejected. I mean, I feel that it's because my personality, my delivery, my assurance, my certainty. See, a lot of females used to think that I was conceited, but it was never that. It was the fact that I was convinced. Yes, I'm a visually impaired person, but my personality overrides that. My this determination, whatever it is, override that. The fact that I was visually impaired. Now, when it came to me trying to find jobs, if you want to call not getting the job a form of rejection, I'd say yes. But if the people never met me, I don't, and I applied for a position and I never told them that I vision impaired and I didn't get it, I don't consider it as a rejection. But a rejection is still considered some form of rejection because you didn't get what you asked for. But I mainly received rejections when it came to trying to apply for certain jobs and whatnot. When I put on the application that I was a visually impaired person, you follow me?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, you want
yeah.
to you
Have
want
you
to
dealt with
go ahead.
interview rejection? Have you dealt with going on an interview for a job and them visually seeing you and knowing that you had this impairment? Have you? How did you deal with that type of rejection?
I went on one interview and it was a major one. I really wanted to get a job. It was what I wanted. It was a call. working in a call center, and it was going to be kind of, the task was not going to be that difficult, and it was very, it was going to be a pleasant one, and I had spoken to the person who had interviewed me and everything, and I felt that I was going to get the job, maybe two. I'm sorry, it was two, and I didn't get it. But how I dealt with it is I was disappointed. Um, and some, it was a time I didn't want to, employ for any jobs for a certain period of time, but I knew that I had to move on. I just couldn't be a person who was visually impaired and just sitting at home and whatnot. So I had to persevere, and it did bring me down a couple of pegs, and I was kind of like upset about the situation. But as I recollect, the one that really really stands at top of my mind is the fact that when I first got uh, college, I'm thinking that, well, hey, I have a degree, so I'm gonna be able to get whatever job that I want to apply for, blah blah blah. But no, that wasn't the case. And after applying for so many and talking with people who had clout and pull, I realized it wasn't coming for me. So there were like 2 or 3 weeks that I didn't want to talk with nobody. I was really disappointed. I was hiding from people. I didn't want to have, and these were friends who were coming around before then. I didn't want to be bothered with them. But in talking with my auntie, rest in peace, she pulled me out of it. My mama, they pulled me out of it and said, Anthony, something's gonna come. And though nothing came to the fact that I was satisfied, I would be satisfied with by using my degree. I was still happy because something did come along and at least allow me to feel that I was a viable part of society.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's what's up. Yeah.
So that was the situation as far as that's concerned. Now, you want to talk more about rejections in terms of the relationships? Like you said that you were teased for the physical attributes. I mean, tell the people some of your ways of you dealing with rejection, because I ain't gonna lie, it hurts. It does hurt. You want to cry and you want to feel bad, you want to drink, you want to smoke, you want to pop, you want to do whatever, but that ain't the answer. You just have to deal with it strongly. So how did you deal with it, and tell us some of the instances that you encountered?
Now, in the beginning, I didn't deal with it the way that I've trained myself to deal with it. So in the beginning, I sulked about it. I beat myself up about it. I was trying to figure out like what's wrong with me. Like what have I done? What can I do to change this? How can I not be this way so people can like me? So I could be popular. I could be in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like I dealt with it in a very harsh manner for myself, because it was like me. You know how you build a home, you stack brick upon brick upon. That's what I was doing to myself. And like when I got probably about, I want to say about 17 is when I met my daughter's father. You know, he was like, you know how pretty you is, you don't know how pretty you are, da 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 da. And my mom and my dad always said, don't let a man talk you into or tell you, you this and you that. Don't let a man try to convince you of this, because I was told that by my parents my whole life. You're pretty, you're beautiful. You need to see that within yourself.
Let me let me let me,
And
let me,
so,
let me stop you right
go
there.
ahead.
Yeah, because you hit a point on that my girlfriend, she used to tell me a lot, that what you just said, that her mom, rest in peace, used to say, no man, don't let a man tell you how you look, because you already know how you look. You're beautiful, and blah blah blah. And she transformed that from her, what her mama told her, to her daughter and whatnot. So she tells her daughter that a lot. So a man should not allow a man to definitely uh, 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 um, tell you how you look, so that you can feel good about yourself in that aspect. So go ahead. And before I forget, Adele said, "Yeah,
Yeah, or to try to give you your value. You already have that value. So
that,
you
that,
shouldn't feel like a man could give you the value that you already own. You already own that value. So my mom and my dad taught me that. Like they really did. They told me that you were always beautiful. You were always smart. You were always intelligent. You were always this, that to the third. So this man coming in my life, I told him, I said, listen, you can do a lot of things, but telling me I'm pretty or I'm beautiful or how good I look, that I don't need from you. I need you to be a man in my life. That's what I need. And when I told him that, he was looking like, what? Like, wait a minute. So you don't want me to compliment you? Yes, I love compliments, but you sound a little cheesy right now. So it was for me. And like I said, at 17, I was like, okay. So if he thinks I'm attractive, I know that I'm attractive. So now I'm gonna start to try to build up my confidence on. And I wasn't so hard on myself anymore. I wasn't thinking, so horribly about myself. So it took some training. It really did, Anthony. It took some real training from myself.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, from my mom and my biological dad, and my biological dad right now, he's 74, I'm 42. My dad still tell me you're beautiful to this day, and it helps. It really does. So,
Okay, as we take a pause for the calls, I am speaking with Aletha Donaldson. Y'all need to go and subscribe to her YouTube channel if y'all have not done it. This is for all y'all who are going to view this video afterwards and make her thing jump
I
just as well
cannot
as
hear
y'all making
you.
our bitches jump and what have you. As I take a break for a second, Aletha, just briefly, 20 seconds. Tell everybody what they can find on your channel.
I cannot. I don't know what happened, but I can't hear you.
Tell everybody. Can you hear me now? Okay, she may want to come back in and come back, go out and come back in. But we are speaking with Aletha Donaldson, and she's definitely giving her input as to being
Oh man.
rejections and whatnot. Go in and come back out.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? This is very interesting, very juicy, and I love talking about this because we've all been rejected from time to time. And this is basically about how you actually uh, deal with it, what will make you a strong person. So, and I don't want y'all to go nowhere. I don't want y'all to go nowhere because I got my girl, Aletha Donaldson, and we will be talking more about rejection because we all can take some advice and use this. Hold on, y'all. To our best of our ability. Hold tight, y'all. We're waiting for her to come back on. Because like I said, I've been I can only basically remember the times, those particular times in which I had been rejected, and you know, trying to get away from people and not deal with them. That's the worst thing to do. I consider that to be the worst thing to do because those are people that can basically help you out and help you over whatever situation that you are going through, and that was definitely the case because they kept on coming. The people who were my friends kept coming, and at some point I was like, look, man, I'm gonna have to see them one way or another because it hurt to know that people were actually, because had I had the impairment, they were not basically giving me a chance to be employed. So with that being said, I had to suck it up and be a man about the whole thing. And that's one thing, like rejections, they do hurt. You're gonna go through some ups and downs and whatnot as a blind person, as a person who could see. You're gonna go through rejections, in any way, shape, or form. But what makes it better, and you realize that on the positive side, on the other side, is the fact that I went through it, and it's gonna make me a better woman, better man, and now I'm gonna know how to actually deal with it. And we were speaking with Aletha Donaldson, and getting her candid viewpoint. Hold on, I think she's back. And speak with her. Okay,
Yeah, I
Aletha,
think
got it.
I'm here.
Okay, and
Yes.
I was saying that just basically, the rejections that I was telling them that the only thing that makes it stronger is if you deal with it and not waddle in your rejections, or people don't like me, or this and that. You just have to rise above that. Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that? You heard me?
Yeah, absolutely. You really, really do. And to touch back on what you said about, yeah,
Go ahead.
you're right. You're right.
So as we conclude,
Can you hear me?
yes, definitely. As we conclude, give them some advice in terms of what they can use in order to get over this rejections, or if they face rejections coming up in their lives and what have you. I wish we could have. Okay, we're gonna um we're gonna end this because I guess that's a deal. I mean, things do happen, and I hate the fact because it was going smoothly, y'all. But at any rate, thank you so much, Ivory. Appreciate it, baby. I'm gonna hang on for a second until she comes back, but that's what it is, man. I appreciate y'all support. Look, go to my YouTube channel if y'all haven't, and support Third Eye Visions, and make this thing happen. Hit me up with some thumbs up. We'll probably continue this uh, at another time. But for Anthony Parker and Alita Donaldson, I want to thank you all. Love y'all.